Ever wanted to see the artwork for the original TV series but never had the chance to? Well, now you can help to make it happen. Robert Gold Galliers has recently expressed an interest in creating a coffee table book with all drawings for the Thomas & Friends TV series and possibly Tugs and Jack and the Sodor Construction Company. SIF staff member Nicholas has created a petition online to highlight the interest in such a book, but we need your help to make this dream a reality. Just sign the petition today for a chance to make your voice heard. Link is in the description. Paintwork. The next morning, Ivo Hugh woke up to see Rusty talking to one of the executives, dressed in a workman's uniform. Her name was Miss Els, and she proved herself quite popular amongst the little engines. She always saw to it that they were cleaned and polished thoroughly, their paintwork fresh and their brass fittings shining like gold. In return, she too had taken a particular liking to the engines, Rusty in particular. She had been having a conversation with Rusty while they were getting Ivo Hugh steamed up. "What's going on?" he asked. "I was just telling Miss Els about the time I was repainted," Rusty explained. "Oh yes," Ivo Hugh replied. "You were painted green, weren't you?" "Yes," Miss Els confirmed, "but he didn't like it much." "Why ever not? Some of the Fat Controller's engines do." "Well, yes, but Miss Els, but sometimes the way we look and the person, or engine in this case, we want to be are two very different things." "How so?" "Well, it just makes us unhappy sometimes, looking the opposite of our true selves," said Rusty. "I know I did for quite some time." Rusty sat in the open shed, feeling sad and alone. He was glad that Sir Handel had apologised to him, and he knew that the men would replace his fan belt soon. But that was not what was depressing him. He watched as the other engines went by. They all looked happy in their colours, but the colour he liked most of all could be seen on their smoke boxes and even on some of the cars that passed by on the road. One day he saw a big green engine on the siding next to him with a goods train. The workmen were busily unloading the trucks while the engine simmered crossly. Rusty looked at him closely. He wanted to say hello, but the expression on the engine's face suggested that a response would not be forthcoming. Then he looked at his smoke box. The blacking seemed to positively sparkle in the sunshine. Rusty felt enraptured. This colour, he felt, was the colour for him. If only someone understood. "Excuse me," came a voice. "Can I help you?" Rusty snapped out of his thoughts. He found the green engine staring right at him. "Oh, excuse me," he said, "but I was just admiring your paint." The big green engine seemed to relax a little. "Well, thank you, I guess," he said hesitantly. "I don't usually get compliments, but I'm fond of green myself." "Not that! I meant the black paint." "Black?" said the green engine. "I know some of my brothers are black, but I wouldn't wear such a colour myself." "Oh," said Rusty sadly. The green engine looked carefully at him. He wasn't fond of diesels, but he could tell when something was wrong. "I hope," he said, "I haven't offended you in any way." No, said Rusty. "It's just, I happen to rather like black. That's all." The green engine considered his next words carefully. He looked at Rusty closely. Then he spoke. You know, I wasn't always green. Weren't you? Heavens no, chuckled the green engine. In fact, lots of us on my railway had different colours when we arrived. Some of us were brown, some were black, some red, and some green like me. But the other engines' liveries changed when we joined the railway at the request of our controller, and they've been quite happy with it. Mine didn't, and I didn't mind. So, we can only change colours if our controllers want us to? Rusty asked sadly. Oh my goodness, no! Replied the green engine. For a long time I was painted blue. I wanted to change colour, you see, after a very dear friend and I worked together. He was blue, and so I wanted to be blue too, just like him. My controller asked me what colour I would like, and I told him. But over time I realised it just wasn't the colour for me. People kept mistaking me for one of the other engines for one thing, and for another, it just started to feel, well, sort of wrong. So, when I was next repainted, I asked to be changed back to green. I wish I was so lucky, sighed Rusty. When I was built, I asked to be changed colour, but the men at the works refused to do so. You're an engine, they said. And engines don't get to pick and choose what they look like. How awful, gasped the green engine. I wouldn't let them speak to me like that, and nor would my controller. If I were to ask to change colour, he would listen to me. But that's just it, said Rusty. I don't think I can. He might not listen to me. If he's a good controller, who cares for and looks after you, who keeps you busy and in good working order with all the fuel you need, I'm sure he will, said the green engine. Besides, all you have to do is ask. Rusty paused. He had only just met this engine, and yet he felt there was something to what he said. Thank you, he said. I'll try. That's the spirit, the green engine smiled. What's your name? I'm Rusty. What's yours? Asked Rusty. I'm Henry, he replied. Then the guard's whistle blew, and the two engines said their goodbyes as Henry made his way out of the siding and back onto the main line. Soon the Finn controller came. Good news, Rusty, he said. Your new fan belt has just arrived, and the men are ready to start your repairs. Thank you, sir, said Rusty. He paused. He felt nervous about what he would do next, but he remembered Henry's advice. Please, sir, he asked, can I be repainted? Well, I don't see why not, said the Finn controller. You've done some good work, and we do have a fresh supply of green paint. Please, sir, Rusty interrupted. The Finn controller stared. No engine would ever dare cut off a controller unless there was a good reason. Rusty took a deep breath and continued. I don't like being green. And he told him everything he had told Henry. The Finn controller listened carefully. When Rusty had finished, the Finn controller smiled and said, Well, Rusty, it sounds like you were badly treated. I shall write my views to your builders and let them know what I think of it. As for you, what colour would you like? Black, please, sir. Then black it shall be. Rusty just beamed. When the workmen came, they replaced his fan belt, took away his green paint and replaced it with a smart coat of charcoal black with yellow lining. In addition, they painted his name on him in yellow and fitted a brass number 5 to his sides. From that moment on, Rusty was a happier engine and carried out his work with a huge beam across his grille. Everyone agreed that a happier, more cheerful engine could not be found anywhere else. But Rusty was just glad to be the engine he wanted to be. And that's the way I like it, Rusty finished. Hear, hear, agreed Miss Els. Ivo Hugh was silent for a long time. All these stories, he mused. If only they were in the Finn clergyman's books. Well, neither the Finn clergyman nor his son could write them all down, replied Peter Sam. Why not? Asked Ivo Hugh. Well, for one thing, the publishers weren't interested in those stories, and instead started asking for more stories about engines like Thomas because of that TV series, Sir Handel explained. And for another thing, they simply couldn't fit all they wanted to say into 4 stories per book if they were to give others a chance in the spotlight too, added Rusty. And if I hear any more talk about that trash heap of a book series, I shall see to it that you are taken out of service and stuffed and mounted on a plinth, came a voice. Everyone turned their gaze to see Mr. Matt glaring at them from the shed entrance. I have to come every year to this miserable backwater of an island and put up with you lot for some stupid kids show that makes far too little money, Mr. Matt stated angrily. The least you could do is shut your mouths while I do my work in my office, but you just have to tell each other stories that no one wants to hear. Everyone glared at him. Now shut up and let me get on with my work, Mr. Matt said. He looked coldly at Miss Els. And you, he said. Act like a man for once and stop pretending to be something you're not. Miss Els gave no reply, but a look of fury in her eyes said everything for her. Mr. Matt just ignored her, turned sharply on his heels and walked away. Before he disappeared back into his office, he turned and looked at Rusty. Nasty looking thing, he sneered and went inside. Rusty decided it was best to try to ignore him, but deep down he began to feel worried. What if his paintwork was taken away from him?